As a representative of the motor industry in South Africa, it's extremely important for us to have international collaboration with organizations such as the IMI, because we all collectively, I think, in the world have a problem with skills development and training, and we need to uplift standards, especially because we work in the environment of technology. Very much technology-driven artisan development is extremely important in the motor industry. The collaboration will mean to us as a motor industry in South Africa that we can collaborate on driving up the standards and then obviously awarding qualifications, and then as well as the status of the IMI in the UK of being a professional body, which absolutely is crucial to us in South Africa to regulate the environment of artisans. It is extremely important, as the motor industry in South Africa as well, is to take young people which come from very diverse backgrounds and to address their different needs. I was very much impressed in the UK with the different models and the involvement of the IMI at many different levels of skills development. So for us, it means a whole lot to be able to collaborate internationally, especially with the IMI, who has the buy-in, I think, of the motor industry in the UK. So that would give credibility to our processes in South Africa.
Do you also face issues with regulation, financial regulation?
Absolutely. In our retail or dealer environment, depending on which way you look at it in the UK, it is crucially important. We're heavily regulated in South Africa, where your financing side of the vehicles are concerned and the selling of vehicles. So it's crucially important for us as South Africa to learn from the UK, who already set the standards for that.
And how do you see the relationship with the IMI developing over time?
We're starting with the IMI. Our initial engagement has been the challenge. One of the biggest challenges in South Africa is to basically inspire employers to train. They don't see it as part of their responsibility, they see it as a government duty. So when we found out that in the UK they actually have a return on investment tool that they've developed for the UK, we found it extremely important to bring them out and listen to what the impact of the tool was in the UK, and basically collaborate with our manufacturing, engineering and related services sector, education and training authority, basically to adapt that to South African circumstances, because the best thing to do for South Africa currently is really to show employers in the motor industry how incredibly important it is to have trained personnel, especially in the environment of the motor industry, because it does add value. The consumer shops differently for vehicles than they did 20 years ago, and if we don't get the employers to participating in training initiatives and understanding that we need to drive up the standards, I'm afraid we will have calamity. So we're being proactive in developing the return of investment tool for South African circumstances.
So a calamity in the sense that the industry needs skills across the technical and the soft skills areas.
Absolutely. For the retail motor industry in South Africa, it is extremely crucial, not only from a technical perspective, but also from a soft skills perspective, to learn from the UK where the return of investment tool is concerned, so that we can actually use the tool in South Africa to create the environment where employers understand. We cannot, in different markets, you have different skill levels, I would say. In the retail motor industry, to give you an example, about 90% of the employers are very small employers, so they employ less than 10 people. So if you take the return of investment tool and you can convince employers what the value add is to train right across the spectrum, from the moment the client walks into the workshop or either goes online shopping, and the ability to sell your product is extremely important to us, and it is really, it has inspired us greatly to see the work that the IMI has done in the UK.